Tower of God, the show that swept everybody's feet this spring 2020 anime season, gave us plenty of moments to discuss amongst ourselves in the anime community. Whether they were moments of laughter or moments that just had you yelling WTF, I'm here to give you all my top 5 moments in Tower of God. Stay tuned.
塔を登れば全てが手に入る。
ようこそ神の塔へ。
What is going on, guys? My name is DJ Miles, and before we begin with this video, if you can go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel for more anime content down the road. Now, with all the formalities out of the way, let's go ahead and give you my number 5 moment.
情報を整理しろ。扉は12枚。制限時間は10分。
So throughout the series, we go through several tests with our characters, whether it's a game of tag or something like the Hunger Games that we saw in episode 2. The door test, despite its simple nature of selecting the right door, left many people who took the test scratching their heads in confusion, or worst case scenario, left for dead. Here's the rules. You got 12 red doors in front of you, select the correct door, and you win. Select the wrong door, and well, you're gonna be terminated. The room is completely empty with the exception of the massive clock in the testing area to remind you to make your decision within 10 minutes. Although our favorite ensemble cast passed the test, many of the participants who took the test failed. And although we can appreciate and acknowledge Kun's brilliance and intelligence and wit now, we got to see how much of a mindfuck the door test was for him specifically. I mean, can you blame him though? Like Kun said in that episode, can you really trust a fluorescent plastic bag? If it wasn't for Rock's instincts, they wouldn't have passed the test. Bomb was too clueless and Kun was too smart and paranoid for his own good at the time, but this was the brilliance of the test for me and why I walked away with it, making it a memorable moment for me in Tower of God. The world will never wait for your certainty. You need companions who will open doors without hesitation and don't second guess their choice. It's an amazing metaphor about life. Here's the thing, guys, we don't know what the world will bring to any of us, but if you want something, you gotta take matters into your own hand. If you wait and sit around for the perfect opportunity to happen to you, well guys, listen, newsflash, it might not ever happen for you. But you won't know that unless you take those risks and open up those doors of uncertainty head on without hesitation. So get out there and live the life you want, and that is why the door test was number 5 for me in Tower of God.
ドアが壊れんだろ、野蛮ワニ。
パパはどこかな？
I mean, what can I say about this moment? It's perfect, it's hilarious, it came out of nowhere, and how many of you guys want a chibi plushie Rock action figure? Anyone? Anyone? So prior to this incident, or blessing in disguise, we've come to know and love Rock as the man with little words, always looking for a fight, calling people's turtles, developing somewhat of a hubris along the way, and the director wasn't having that. But more importantly, what was established prior to the incident was the witty back and forth banter he had with Kun. So when Kun set up the perfect punchline delivery of, "Where's your daddy?" I could not stop laughing the first time I heard it, and it's definitely by far one of the most memorable moments, and every interaction that we got with Chibi Rock, Tiny Rock, however you want to interpret it, were absolutely perfect, and that is why he was my number 4 pick in Tower of God without question.
Come on, don't tell me you haven't noticed.
We can't talk about the best moments of Tower of God without mentioning the Crown game, because this was one of the first moments in the series where we got to see our favorite ensemble cast duke it out with one another for the first time, and where we saw a lot of their abilities as well. This is where we see Anak face off against Lauru, and this is where we also learned that this freakishly demonic weapon was one of the 13 legendary month series weapons that King Jihad hands down to his princesses. If we saw what the Black March could do back in the pilot episode, then you know the Green April has to be up there in terms of raw strength as well. Also, how can I talk about the Crown game and not mention Kun's ingenuity here? This man is constantly thinking several steps ahead, and we learned that the bag that he's been carrying around can duplicate items, confirming how he had an endless supply of Snickers bars to give to Rock, and also confirming, well, let's be real, the man never has to go grocery shopping ever again as well. But more importantly, just understanding how bottomless that bag really was, because apparently it's so massive that you can fit people inside it. I know. Kun is so goddamn smart, he decided to recruit people from the Hunger Games test and offer them safe passage in his bag in exchange for their allegiance in future tests, i.e. the Crown game. And how can I almost forget one of the other things Kun was known for in the Crown game that had everyone up and roar about? It was his sexy ass man bun. Now let's go ahead and talk about my number 2 choice. The pilot episode for Tower of God was without a doubt one of the best pilot episodes I've seen in any anime period. Now, I'll be going more in depth about why the premise and pilot episode for Tower of God worked so well for me in a future video, but just learning about the world and single premise of climbing a tower and acquiring whatever wish or desire you want if you successfully climb to the top was so captivating. Seeing this mysterious figure for the first time, Hidon, telling Bomb that if he wants to see Rachel, you better take this test first. Okay, cool, sign me up. What do I need to do? Then the camera slowly zooms out to show us this enormous steel eel. So how the hell was Bomb going to do it? Besides his tiny interaction of a bubble he's had with Rachel, now has to face off against this behemoth of a monster? Now, if you've seen the episode, you know how it goes down. The test begins, he immediately gets engulfed by the steel eel's mouth. We get Evan's perspective on why Bomb is someone you don't want to mess with because he doesn't really fear anything when it comes to protecting someone he cares about. The Black March is summoned, helping Bomb destroy the ball, yada yada yada, injuring the eel, the end. But when I think about how magnificent that music was during that entire encounter, I really get goosebumps just thinking about it. And we also get one more very important message that we learned from Tower of God in that pilot episode. And that is, if you got a pretty face, you'll be okay. I fucking knew it! I fucking knew it! Mama, I made it! Don't you worry about me. I'll be okay. And now, number one, I have done plenty, and I mean I have done plenty of extensive research. My number one most memorable moment in Tower of God is... Hubba.
If you keep staring like that, I'm gonna blush.
You're so lovely! We got a winner! A perfect 10! Everything about you just so perfect. 5'6", gorgeous red hair. Where on earth did you come from?
So, you'll help me with my training now, right?
Oh, yeah, you bet. Listen, the director was wrong. Bomb wasn't the chosen one. I'm clearly the chosen one. Yes, let's go ahead and start the training right now. I mean, she's definitely my number one. But this is my real number one moment in Tower of God. Not because it was the most shocking moment in Tower of God, but because it was going to lead into future ramifications on what is going to happen with certain characters going forward. Now, while many of our suspicions on Rachel prior to this moment was shaky, I was still giving her the benefit of the doubt, but looking back at it now, the breadcrumbs were all there. Her distancing herself from Bomb and the others, telling Dorsey to kill Bomb in the crown game, not to mention the great foreshadow of her eating the rotten apple, implicating that she is someone who would turn bad herself. This moment heated so many people online, and to add insult to injury, Bomb's entire team, saddened by his death, wants to honor his innocence and final wish of doing so, and that is whatever they can to help Rachel climb the tower. Let that sink in for a moment. Yeah, she had her cake and she ate it too, right in front of us. Personally, even if I don't agree with her decisions, Rachel, I would argue, is a character who became the unfortunate byproduct of the tower's twisted nature and doing literally whatever it takes to succeed. Even if that means burning your bridges with the people you care about the most and planting the seed for all of us watching going forward that we should expect more betrayals with our cast of characters. And more importantly, it got Bomb out of the Matrix, waking him up for the very first time and fully grasping that, Bomb, you are not a simp protagonist. Shedding his former self and becoming a new character for the story going forward, even if it was at the loss of his innocence. Well, those were my favorite moments in Tower of God. Do you guys agree with this list? If I missed something out, or if you guys would have changed the order, let me know in the comments down below. So listen, I need to go ahead and do some training right now. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel for more anime content. My name is DJ Miles, and as I always say, to be continued, take care.